Hello everyone.
Welcome to this mini episode from a new series which we're calling What's Getting Your Goat. And these mini episodes will just bring in the more human side of us, because as much as we are spiritual people, we're still humans living a human life, and therefore naturally things and people will get on our nerves and irritate us. In other words, those things get on our goat. So do expect some strong language, but we do hope you enjoy the episode. See you soon. Well, hello listeners, and welcome to this mini episode which we entitled What's Getting Your Goat. And we're going to do this week with our guest Dawn as well, who've just listened to the podcast hopefully. So we're going to ask Dawn this week, as well as asking Glenda as well, myself, what's getting your goat this week. So Glenda, let's start with you. What's getting your goat this week?
Oh, well, what's going on my goat this week? Well, this week has been quite horrendous for me as I'm holding space for my papa to pass. So what gets on my fucking goat this week, and I'm going to use the F word, is people, not only in my situation, but other situations that turn up to the passing or the transition of someone expecting a handout that haven't been there for their whole life. That their passing has come down to money. That's what gets on my goat. I am always a kind and nice person, but this has really tested me this week, and I've had to really come back to myself and remind myself of who I am, and that I'm coming from a place of love, and I need to just step away when these people come into the room, because I'm not going to be around this sort of energy. So that's what's got on my goat. So excuse the French word there.
I get it. It's vulture behaviour. As I said to you the other day, it's horrendous.
But what you have from the relationship, what you have is far, far greater than any money. Money's worth nothing. Money is worth nothing. It's just a monetary ugly thing. It's what you have is far, far worth more than money could ever give you.
It's just so sad. So sad. And yeah, I hear about this in this work. We hear about this in our readings all the time. And it's just so very sad that it happens.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot. It happened. A similar thing happened with me. With there might be someone listening, so I won't say anything. But when my father passed away, his wishes were for money to be divided up equally, and it wasn't. And things are, the last wishes of someone, that's all they wanted. They wanted their family to be left with peace, not to be left in fighting over petty things.
Yes.
It's so hurtful, so sad. But you will have to walk away from it knowing that you have something far, far greater than they could ever have. If all they want from that person to fill up is their purse rather than filling their heart, let them have at it.
And like you just said in the podcast, these are one of those lessons or one of those teachable moments that I'm going through. So
we're here for you, love. Don't you worry. We've got your back.
Totally.
Thanks.
Totally.
We'll have amazing friends. Thank you. So what gets on your goat this week?
What gets on my goat this week? For me, it is just people being rude. That really gets, if you can't say just a polite thank you or a please, it's not huge. It just shows that I appreciate your existence. I appreciate what you have done. In that moment, you could be a complete stranger. All you need to do is say thank you. If you say please to me for anything, I will give you the shirt off my back. No problem. But if you're just rude and expect to get something, just expect it, that's what really drives me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that. And a
Great.
lot of the time it's people I found where I work, will get people come into my business and they will expect to get something done without, without a please or a thank you. Well, just expect it because I'm paying you money, right? So why do I have to
Mm.
say please or thank you to you? It's your job. You're a human being. You're doing,
Hmm.
just be nice, be polite. I can't bear rudeness. It costs you nothing to say please and thank you. Even just a smile. If you can't speak, just smile. Fine. Just show
Absolutely.
your appreciation.
Absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, you can just see it on when you do pick. I work for personally for me when I do pick a card.
Mm,
The people that just, I want card such and such. No, please or thank you. I always say,
yeah,
please and thank you go a long way. It's like that is my time and energy I'm giving away for
totally.
free. Just say thank you.
It's an energy, it's an exchange of energy, isn't it? So if you say, oh, I'll have this, I'll have that number, that energy is flat. If you say, please, as soon as you just say, please, it lifts that energy because then you go, oh,
Yeah,
it's like a receiving something. You're both getting
yeah,
something.
that's it. And it's just being polite and kind, like be kind to
Yeah.
people. You don't know what they're going through. No one knows what you're going through in your everyday life. And, instead of just saying, please, can I have that? Or, would you
Yeah.
mind helping me with that? That goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Not just, oh, go and get me this, but would you mind, would you do me a favor? Could you please get me so and so? I'll be like, oh yeah, of course, no problem.
Absolutely.
Just kindness. It's energy. It's that sharing of energy, that kindness. That's all it is. It's simple.
Yeah.
Costs you nothing.
That's it.
Mm.
What about you, David? You can
Well,
swear because I said a swear word today.
no,
It's
I'm just
not fair.
trying
I swear word.
to.
Dawn will never say a swear word.
I'm trying to think of how to put it without going into too much detail. But basically, it's online. No, TikTok. I'm going to say it. Um, they're not the only platform that does this, by the way, but they need to do better, I feel. And this week, like, without going into too much detail, 'cause I don't really want to bring this situation into it because it deserves healing rather than anything else. But I was basically on TikTok, and there's a gay couple who are out there living their life, living their best lives, and whatever else. And some vile person had put a comment about using a recent situation to wish this gay couple to wish them dead, basically, just for exist, not because they're horrible people, just purely because they existed. And so that comment that this horrible person said was allowed on their video, right? And they were just replying to it, and they were quite upset, as you can imagine, being
Obviously.
wished dead. And so I left a comment backing them up to say, ignore this vile cretin.
Yeah.
I could have said a lot worse, and people know me. I could have said a lot worse. And backing them up and saying, don't worry about her. Just live your life. You're doing all right. Ignore, right? My comment was blocked straight away for violating community guidelines and standards. And so I appealed it. And then 5 minutes later, my appeal was also declined because it goes against their community standards. So, TikTok, I'd like to ask you, what are your community standards? Because you've allowed some vile person to wish dead a gay couple purely because they're a gay couple, not for any other
Mm.
reason. They're not
Hmm.
hurting anybody. You've allowed that, as well as half of the other trash that I see on his platforms. For example, again, people stood in their underwear saying, "Oh, do you like my haircut?" Well, what stand in your underwear got to do with your haircut? Why are you cooking naked in your kitchen? But all that is allowed on a
Yeah.
platform where you're protecting, protecting, inverted commas, protecting your community. No, you're not, because you're allowing this trash and these hurtful comments to be put out there. But when you respond to something, and I wasn't really being unkind, that person, whoever said that, deserved a lot more than I gave her,
Yeah.
basically. But that was it. And people might say, "Oh, that's not very spiritual." I'm a medium, not a saint.
Mm,
Spiritual does not mean keeping your gob shut at all times.
no.
Um, but for that person to wish someone else dead purely based on their sexual orientation, I felt I wanted to say. And I don't normally respond to comment. I don't normally say anything at all. And I did that to my video. What video was yesterday that I posted on social media? That I am normally quite quiet about things. But that thing I looked at and I thought, how dare you use a recent tragedy to
Yeah.
bring another gay couple into it? Don't do that. But TikTok, you've allowed it. You've
Mm,
allowed it.
Yeah.
Facebook do the same thing. Instagram do the same thing.
Same.
Please look at your community standards.
yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, if you're going to say you're protecting your community, then protect them
You're
because actually
not
you're
protected.
not. You're not protecting
Yes.
anyone at all. All you want is your numbers. All
Mm,
I
Yeah.
mean, look at this. Look at the scam. I'm on a rant now, but look at all the scammers that mediums get.
yeah.
These platforms are enablers. They're enabling people
Yeah.
to create scam accounts. And it's obvious when you look at it, it's a scammer. Well, to me, it is anyway. But
Mm.
these platforms, if they've got these security teams, what they've been paid for?
And
To
they want
to
us
press yes or no. I mean, does
they
that
want us
require
to
some kind of
pay
qualification?
they want us to pay for that blue tick. What the freak for?
But that blue tick doesn't mean anything because people, I know mediums who have got blue ticks, but they are still scammed and those accounts are still duplicated.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
social media platforms, you need to do better. And I'm not paying you for nothing either. So I'm not paying you to
Yeah.
protect you. That's what you should be doing in the first place. So that's my kind of rant. What's getting my fucking goat this week?
Yeah.
Yay.
Well done, you. I mean, imagine if they don't know what that couple were going through. You didn't know
No.
that gay couple could have come off of the internet that moment and gone, do you know what? Maybe this is a sign. Maybe we should commit
Mm.
suicide. She had no idea what was going through their minds at that moment. So for TikTok to be able to ban your comment but leave hers in, that's just absolutely disgusting. So I totally
Yeah.
understand that you're angry.
Hmm. It's disgusting. The venom that comes out of people's mouths is
Mm.
disgusting.
Yeah.
People need to check themselves, and they
Mm.
don't because they get on that what's it called, the keyboard warriors, and they think they're
Mm.
invincible, and they write all these things under fake names. Yet again, spit and venom.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be them. I'd really hate to be them.
They're behind us. They're behind the screen, so they're safe. They can say
Yeah,
what they like, so they
Yeah.
let it all out.
Yeah. And I
yeah,
think the thing is, the other way to look at it is, by someone saying that kind of comment, it tells you everything about me that you need to know. It tells you
Mhm.
what their character is, what their personality is. But I think the trouble is, if people don't call these people out, then they will continue to get away with it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, without making this episode half an hour long, I think sometimes in a spiritual community, as I see it, I think people are too bothered about, I must be pious and I must keep my mouth shut and I mustn't say anything bad about anybody. But that does no good for what's going on out there
Mm.
because that mentality creates that space for these vile people to say what they want and keep getting away with it. And I
yeah,
that's similar to these no, the TV shows, these panel shows where the bosses tell them you can't address this, you can't talk about that. Well,
Yeah.
that mentality is allowing these horrible people to continue saying what they want to say because we're almost covering it up because we want to be also pious and also spiritual and we can't say that. Well, no, we can say it because we have an opinion, and I'm not saying it's hurt anybody. These people are hurting people,
Yeah.
but they're getting away with it because we're not calling them out on it. And it's just that situation. I looked at that, I thought, I've had enough of this. I've seen
Mm.
too much of this online recently, and I thought, no, you're not getting away with that one. Obviously, they have done because my comment was blocked. So,
yeah. Bullies remain bullies, and they can
yeah.
keep
Yeah.
doing it.
But anyway, I'm not going
So,
to raise my
Hey,
blood pressure any higher.
stand up to a bully.
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it. But I guarantee guarantee they would never say that to anyone's face.
Nice.
No,
Yeah. No, of
No,
course I
of
wouldn't.
course not.
Of course I wouldn't. No balls.
no.
Anyhow, that's what's getting our goat this week, people. Maybe you needed to hear that. I don't know. Maybe you resonate with that as well. Um, but yeah, we'll finish it there before any of our blood pressure gets raised any higher than it is. So, thank you again, Dawn, for sharing what's getting your goat this week with us. And I
Thank
completely
you.
agree with what you said. People, just be nice out there. That's the ultimate
Yeah.
message here. Be kind. Be nice. Have your P's and Q's, please and thank yous. It doesn't take a lot, as Dawn said. It's free. That it don't cost nothing. So just be good to people, but also obviously be good to yourself as well. And so with that, we'll love you and leave you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Thank you for listening to What's Getting Our Goat this week. We hope you enjoyed the episode. But if something's getting your goat, why not tell us about it? Let us know, and we might just talk about it in a future episode. But until then, look out for those goats, and we'll see you soon.